Breaking news. Now, I don't know if I'm going to upload this to YouTube because, again, it'd be a second kind of hard politics video of the day. But if you do enjoy my political coverage, please leave a like and share the video. Help share the video. I definitely find myself more interested in covering this stuff. I'm never going to go completely away from covering, big tech and video games and Hollywood nonsense too. But it would be nice to talk about stuff that is affecting the country, a little bit more often. But we've got some breaking news. The woman investigating Donald Trump has now been served with articles of impeachment the very same day that the Georgia Senate has formed a special committee to investigate her corruption. If you're just tuning in to the Trump situation, essentially you've got a bunch of district attorneys and corrupt politicians who are trying to make a name for themselves. In my opinion, you've got that lunatic DA or Attorney General in New York who's trying to, just trying to make a name for herself by bringing charges against Trump charges that will likely not stick. Then you have Georgia. You have a district attorney, Fani Willis, who was giving taxpayer money, big taxpayer money, to her lover and giving preferential treatment to him so he could be on the trial to try Donald Trump to, again, increase his cachet, even though the guy had never once even tried a single federal case. Massive nepotism, corruption, all in the name of Drumpf, getting after Donald Trump. Well, breaking news, the chairwoman of the Freedom Caucus, Georgia, State Representative Charlize Byrd, has officially introduced H.R. 872, articles of impeachment against Fani Willis. This is the Trump curse. Just ask how Mr. Basta, remember the Basta guy? Remember the guy that was going to get Drumpf? Basta. Michael Kavanaugh, Mike Naina in prison. He's in prison now. The very same day the Georgia Special Committee. So this says, State Representative Charlize Byrd, a six-term incumbent from Cherokee County, today introduced the H.R. 872 to impeach Fulton District Attorney Fani Willis, claiming she was used her office to not to pursue justice, but for political gain. Willis is known for pursuing high-profile indictment against President Donald Trump and 18 others for their constitutional right to question the integrity of what happened in 2020 in Fulton County and everywhere else in Georgia. Willis has also come under scrutiny for possible conflicts of interest in hiring a potential paramour for the case against Trump. In addition, a judge barred Willis from investigating Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones when he was campaigning for lieutenant governor, as she was a financial supporter of his opponent. She's corrupt from the top down. Michael Avenatti's the guy. He's in a federal pound me in the rear prison, though. Think. They're treating him real good. He's trading those sticky buns for to protect his sticky buns, to keep his buns from getting sticky. So now it's all falling apart. It seems like all these people who are trying to press their, use their positions in government to get political gain, they're all falling. They're all corrupt to the core. The Georgia State District Attorney accused of having an affair with an attorney, not just an attorney, but one she hired to prosecute former President Donald Trump, by the way, who, again, had never even tried a federal case in history, now to prosecute alleged on her behalf of her behalf lover on Friday, saying confidentiality interests means she can't hand over any documents related to the case. Fulton County DA Fani Willis is facing calls even from allies to step off the Trump case due to the allegations of improper self-dealing. She fired off the defiant response after House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan reached out to her alleged paramour. Paramour, I believe, is like lover, right? Is that paramour? Dear Mr. Jordan, I'm writing you regarding your January 12, 2024 letter to attorney Nathan Wade who is retained by the Office of Special Assistant District Attorney, Willis wrote to Jordan, who has demanded records from the Wade of payments for him to Willis' office, in addition to any records concerning contacts with Joe Biden. So many people think that she's working in cohort with Joe Biden. We know that she had an affair with another lawyer. We know that this lawyer has received obscene amounts of money, taxpayer money, to prosecute a man he is woefully incapable of doing. Essentially, all of this is she's corrupt from the top to the bottom. Jordan wrote to Wade just days after Trump co-defendant Michael Roman alleged in court papers filed on January 8th that Willis had glaring conflict of interest in the case, in which the 77-year-old ex-president and 14 allies faced charges of unlawfully attempting to meddle in the 2020 results. Willis, an elected Democrat, has paid Wade, a private office attorney, $654,000 in legal fees since January 2022. By the way, for those of you keeping count at home, in the Peach State, in Georgia, that's your money. She paid her lover your tax dollars to the tune of nearly $700,000. And that's not all. There was also private vacations and all this other kind of stuff. Wade allegedly spent some of the funds on vacations for him and Willis. So using the money that he got to take her on vacation. The purported lovebirds have not denied having a romantic relationship. The court hearing is expected next month to determine whether Wade and Willis need to be removed from the case. Of course they do. Of course, the whole case is going to fall apart. Shelley, no! Essentially, if you wanted to say it more simply, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis funnels $654,000 in taxpayer funds to her lover. That's what it is. Like, she's done. There is no denying the nepotism here, the favoritism here, the amount of money that was exchanged. She's not beating any of these charges. None. Jordan's request for documents sent to Wade sought an array of other material that Republicans believe could undermine the case, such as any correspondence with the White House or Justice Department. Jordan also asked Wade for, quote, all invoices, including credit card statements and individualized reimbursement payments submitted by you or your law partners to Fulton County District Attorney's Office. What that means is any other money that we don't know about that you were paid, and you were paid other money, almost certainly, right? He was paid more money. They're going to find almost certainly thousands more. They're going to find tens of thousands more dollars in expenses that she is essentially a full-on criminal and should go to prison. She's embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars. He then took her on luxury cruises and all this kind of stuff. We now know because his ex released those records. The black Democrat grift is strong in Georgia, I'm told by Georgians. Trump, the likely Republican presidential nominee, faces criminal charges in 3 other cases, including for allegedly falsifying business records by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. That's not going to happen. Who's also an elected Democrat. Again, that's bunk too. And by the way, the Georgia case was perhaps, from what I'm understanding, as again, I'm new to covering politics, so I understand, I appreciate your understanding if I get things wrong. But I do think that in this year, in 2024, it's increasingly important that I cover these things. The Georgia case is the worst of all the cases, if I'm right about that. Could you let me know in the comment section down below? But that's the one that had the most potential. The other stuff, the New York case, all that kind of stuff seemed like absolute, bunk. Like they were never going to make any of that stick. None of that was going to affect his ability to do, to run for presidency, all that kind of stuff. Georgia was the one that, that Trump was probably the most concerned about. And it's going to fall apart. I'm reminded of a lot of these Democrats okay, who happen to, you know, look the same. What about who's the one in Chicago that used who was corrupt? Was it Fox? She looked just like this chick, didn't she? The one that said Juicy Sommelier shouldn't get prosecuted? I think that was, I think she was another corrupt attorney general, right? And then we also, of course, have Beetlejuice in Chicago. Liberal, maybe it's just that liberal women are very unattractive. That could be right. But yeah, Kimberly Fox was another one. I'm not saying that, I mean, everybody in government is corrupt, but it seems like, we're finding a lot of these women that are super corrupt. You had Michelle Obama, Mike Obama calling reaching out to get Juicy Sommelier off on charges. It's time these people need to be broke and in prison. They're all breaking the law. And I actually think this chick, Fani Willis, she's going to be a fall guy. I don't think she's getting off on this. This seems like pretty clear-cut corruption, pretty clear-cut money laundering, like Blagojevich, also from Chicago, another Democrat. So it's going to be interesting. Like this case is falling apart. This case in Georgia is going to fall apart because this chick is corrupt. Maybe they actually had good stuff on Trump. Maybe they thought they could make charges stick. But unfortunately, their state and the government officials around the case are so corrupt that it's going to fall apart now. Great job, Democrats. Just another win for Trump.